One ordinary evening, I sit down at our shared computer to search for a recipe for dinner. As I browse through the folders, I come across one that I don't recognize. Curiosity piqued. I open it and my world comes crashing down. The folder contains explicit messages, photographs and even videos of my wife with another man. The dates on the files reveal that this affair has been going on for months, all behind my back. As I sift through the evidence, shock and disbelief give way to heartache and anger. I struggle to understand how the woman I've loved for 18 years could betray me in such a profound way. I feel a whirlwind of emotions, hurt, betrayal, sadness and confusion, gathering the evidence. I know that I must confront my wife about her infidelity with a heavy heart. I brace myself for the inevitable confrontation, knowing that our relationship may never be the same again. When my wife returns home, I can't contain my emotions any longer. I confront her, presenting her with the undeniable evidence from the hidden folder. She appears shocked and flustered but doesn't deny her actions. Instead, she attempts to justify her infidelity by claiming that we have an open marriage. Her words catch me off guard and I can't believe what I'm hearing. We had never discussed or agreed to any such arrangement, and her attempt to manipulate the situation leaves me dumbfounded. The fact that she's trying to turn the tables and put the blame on me for not understanding our supposed open marriage only adds fuel to the fire of my anger and disappointment. As we argue back and forth, I realize that not only has my wife betrayed my trust, but she's also attempting to twist the truth to suit her own narrative. This revelation adds another layer of hurt to an already devastating situation, leaving me questioning the very foundation of our marriage. In the days following the confrontation, tension and unease fill our home. We barely speak to each other and the emotional distance between us grows despite the hurt and betrayal. I can't help but remember the life we built together, the love we once shared and the vows we made on our wedding day. Though the idea of divorce crosses my mind, I am not yet ready to give up on our marriage without a fight. After a long and difficult conversation, we both agreed to try marriage counseling. It seems like our last chance to mend the broken trust and salvage our relationship. We hold on to a glimmer of hope that with the help of a professional, we can navigate the tangled web of emotions, deceit and pain that now defines our marriage. We research and find a reputable marriage counselor in our area, and with a mix of trepidation and hope we schedule our first session. Though the future of our relationship remains uncertain, we take this step together, hoping that it might lead to healing and reconciliation. We arrive at the counselor's office both feeling anxious and unsure of what to expect. Our counselor, a kind and empathetic woman, welcomes us and invites us to take a seat. We begin by sharing our feelings and grievances with her. I express my heartache and betrayal while my wife admits her guilt and remorse. The session is intense, filled with tears and raw emotions. As we delve into the issues that led to the infidelity, it becomes clear that there are underlying problems in our relationship that have been festering for some time, though it's a difficult and emotional experience. The counselor encourages open and honest communication between us. As the session comes to an end, we both feel somewhat relieved to have started addressing the issues in our marriage. We leave with the understanding that this is just a first step in a long and challenging journey towards reconciliation. But we're willing to take that journey together as we continue attending counseling sessions. I try my best to be open and receptive to the process. We discuss our communication styles, our emotional needs and ways to rebuild trust despite these efforts. However, I can't shake the nagging feeling that my wife is still hiding something from me. The betrayal has left a deep wound in my heart and the seed of doubt has taken root. I find myself questioning her every action and analyzing her every word, searching for hidden meanings or signs of deceit. Even when she appears genuine and remorseful, I struggle to fully trust her. This constant suspicion takes a toll on me, causing sleepless nights and countless hours spent replaying the events in my head. Though I want to believe that we can move past the infidelity and repair our relationship, the weight of my lingering doubts makes it increasingly difficult to make progress in our counseling sessions. My heart aches with the uncertainty of whether we can ever truly rebuild the trust that once held our marriage together. During one of our counseling sessions, I notice my wife is increasingly distracted by her phone. She keeps glancing at it, her fingers tapping away as if she's sending messages. Our counselor too notices her preoccupation and gently reminds her to focus on the session. My suspicion gets the better of me and I can't ignore the urge to know what has her so captivated. In a moment of frustration, I snatch the phone from her hands and my heart sinks as I see a string of flirtatious messages with a man whose name I don't recognize. The messages reveal that they've been meeting up and have even shared intimate moments together. My heart pounds in my chest as I realize that despite our efforts in counseling, my wife has been continuing her deceitful behavior. The painful truth of her ongoing infidelity stares back at me from the screen, and the last ounce of trust I had in her crumbled to dust, overwhelmed with anger and disbelief. I confront my wife about the messages right there in the counseling session. I demand an explanation, feeling a mixture of rage and heartache at this new discovery. Our counselor tries to mediate the situation, urging us to remain calm and communicate our feelings. Despite the clear evidence, my wife denies everything, claiming that the messages were taken out of context and that is all a big misunderstanding. She insists that there's nothing going on between her and the man, and she pleads with me to believe her. But her words ring hollow and her desperate attempts to deflect only served and confirm my suspicions. I am left with a sinking feeling of betrayal. The bitter realization that she has been lying to me, not only about her infidelity, but also throughout our entire counseling process. This confrontation only serves to widen the chasm between us, casting a dark shadow over any hope for reconciliation. In the aftermath of the confrontation, I find myself questioning everything I thought I knew about my wife and our marriage. My trust in her is completely shattered and I can't help but wonder how long her deceit has been going on. And if there are more secrets yet to be uncovered as we continue our counseling sessions, I struggle to open up and be vulnerable. The thought of sharing my innermost feelings with someone who has betrayed me so deeply feels impossible. Our counselor encourages me to express my doubts and insecurities, but the weight of my wife's actions looms heavy over our sessions. I begin to question whether our relationship can ever recover from this level of deceit. The trust that once formed the foundation of our marriage has crumbled, leaving me feeling lost and unsure of our future together. The pain of betrayal has taken its toll and I find myself grappling with the heart-wrenching decision of whether to continue fighting for our marriage or to accept that it may be beyond repair. Despite the overwhelming evidence of my wife's ongoing infidelity and the shattered trust between us, we persist in attending our counseling sessions. We delve deeper into our issues, exploring past hurts and our individual emotional needs. However, I can't help but feel that my wife's actions have made it nearly impossible for us to make any real progress. As the weeks go by, I find it more and more difficult to engage in the counseling process. The betrayal looms over every session, a dark cloud that casts a shadow over any potential breakthroughs. I begin to feel disconnected from my wife, and our efforts to rebuild our relationship seem futile. I reach a turning point. A moment of clarity where I finally accept that the trust between us may be irreparably damaged. I realize that I must prioritize my own well-being and happiness, even if that means making the difficult decision to let go of our marriage. This realization weighs heavily on my heart, but it also brings a sense of empowerment and resolve to take control of my own future. As my doubts and mistrust grow, I decide to seek legal advice to explore my options in case the situation doesn't improve. I make an appointment with a divorce attorney, feeling a mixture of anxiety and determination. During the consultation, the attorney informs me about the divorce process, my rights, and the potential outcomes. Though I still hold on to a glimmer of hope that our marriage can be saved, I know that I must be prepared for the possibility that it may not. The thought of divorce is painful and daunting, but I understand that it may be the only way for me to heal and move forward. Armed with this new knowledge, I return home, feeling both empowered and saddened by the reality of the situation. I know that I must make a choice soon, either to continue fighting for our marriage or to accept that it's time to start a new chapter in my life. One day, as I search for a document on our computer, I stumble upon another piece of evidence that confirms my wife's ongoing infidelity. My heart sinks and I feel a rush of anger and despair. This discovery is a breaking point. The final straw that forces me to confront the harsh reality of our situation. It becomes painfully clear that my wife has not been honest throughout our counseling process, and her actions have made any chance of reconciliation impossible with the heavy heart. I accept that our marriage cannot be saved, and it's time to make the difficult decision to move on. After taking some time to process my emotions and consider my options, I finally make the difficult decision to file for divorce. It's a heart-wrenching choice, but I know it's the right one for my own well-being and happiness. Though it's painful to let go of the life we built together, I understand that I deserve a future free from deception and betrayal. I pick up the phone and call my attorney to begin the process of ending our marriage. As the divorce proceedings begin, I brace myself for the emotional turmoil and challenges ahead. There are moments of sadness, anger, and grief, but also moments of hope and determination to build a better future for myself. While the process is undoubtedly difficult, I start to see the possibility of a new life free from the deceit and pain that once overshadowed my marriage. Slowly, I begin to heal and find strength. The divorce hearing was a circus. My wife tried to say I was emotionally abusive even after the court had proof of her infidelity. Her lawyer tried to get alimony for her. We were married in New Mexico. She was still entitled to the sale of the house, but that was it. She didn't get any alimony, and I am in the process of finding out who her AP is. My attorney told me I could go after him. Not sure if I want to waste my time doing that. I am in the process of putting the home up for sale. Not sure if I will come back with an update.